See if we're live. Callum, good evening. How are we doing? Right, I'm just checking that I'm live on everything. Bear with me 2 secs. Right, that one's working. Good, and that one's working as well. Fantastic. Just Instagram's not working. Let's try again. Right, that one's working. Good, and that one's working as well. Fantastic. Just Instagram's not. Mute that. Right. Callum, can you hear me all right? Audio's good, lovely. Okay. Let's just see if we can get Instagram working. Okay, fine. Don't know. Everything else is working except Instagram. Okay. What's the profit margin on those sales? About 20 something percent, 22%, something like that. How's everyone's week going? No, that's not this month. If I was making 40 grand a month, I'd have sold the business and be retired. No, that's the last 12 months. Callum, that's a really good question. So, you got to think of what. See if you can ask them why. That'll be the first port of call. Ask them why they aren't interested in any e-com sellers at the moment. That'll be the first port of call. And sometimes they'll give you a reason, sometimes they won't. But the reality is, you've got to give them a reason for you to get an account with them. So I probably wouldn't let them get to that stage, if that makes sense. And I'd have sort of primed them and got in having the conversation with them about what value you can bring to them. So whether it's more knowledge on number of sales that are selling on Amazon, exclusivity, upfront payments, etc., and just you're preempting the chat with them so that they don't actually get to that point and actually say they're not interested in any e-com sellers at the moment. Mark, yeah, very good. How are you? I do wholesale and private label and unique bundles. I've been doing it for 4.5 years. How much do you think a complete beginner can make in the first year? if you really put the time and effort into it, so if you really focus and take a lot of action, etc., I don't see why you couldn't do 75k in revenue in the first year. Something like that. Yeah, I don't see what I did. I think I did about 60, 65 in my first year, but didn't really know what I was doing. So obviously I didn't get a mentor. I taught myself completely. So yeah. Nadia, do you teach people who have zero knowledge? Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, encountered it more when I was doing more emails when I was abroad or trying to implement your... Yeah, good stuff, Karen, good stuff. No, we made more than 40k because we sell on multiple marketplaces. Thomas, I do wholesale, private label, and unique bundles. So that is in front of me, below me. Also, you're seeing UK. UK is predominantly private label with a tiny little bit of wholesale. Can you say how much? Not really. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. But don't think about it about how much money we make off the back of it. It's about the time freedom you get, because I don't pay myself silly money. I pay myself £3,000 a month after tax, so that just covers the bills for my household, and the rest just gets left in the business to continue to grow. Nadia, I mean, I wouldn't teach FBM specifically, but I know how to do FBM. We do a very small amount of FBM. I'm talking a handful of sales per month, as most of it is FBA. What programs do you use mostly for PL? Programs, you mean software? If you mean software, we use Helium 10 and Keeper pretty much. That's pretty much all we exclusively use, to be honest. Mazzaro, so getting a mentor, it would be very... It's all down to the individual at the end of the day. So if you think about whoever the mentor is, you're putting your trust in said person to stop you from making the mistakes that they've made, essentially. So it's up to you whether you want to pay for that or not. But it would definitely, in my eyes, be beneficial because you're gonna learn quicker rather than what I did. I essentially taught myself very much, just taught myself straight out of the gate. What do you think about Keeper Product Finder? Yeah, it can be good, Callum. It can be really good. Yeah, Thomas, I think like OA, you've got to put a serious amount of time and effort into it. Like, you need to have a lot of processes in place. You need to have probably multiple VAs in place to do OA, because with OA you're essentially you're never replanning stock on OA, and the same with RA. Is you're never replanning stock. You're buying a quantity, selling out or selling through it, making as much profit as possible, moving on to the next one. So you're constantly product sourcing. Whereas in terms of wholesale, unique bundles and private label, what we're doing, I'm not product hunting that often. It's more about focusing on restocking and how to optimize stuff. How long does mentorship last with you? Probably be 2 months of face-to-face with me, and then in theory, as long as you want after that in terms of support. I would say 8 to 10 weeks of me face to face, and then not face to face as in live on video with me. But yeah, after that, it'd just be a case of support directly from me. Never tried it. Thomas, yeah, PL is challenging. It's very challenging. I'm not gonna deny it. S550 you sell. I do wholesale, private label, and unique bundles. I did, but returns or issues with stores and buy limits and tanking listings constantly. Yes, yeah. I mean, I completely get exactly what you're saying there, Thomas. All of those issues are going to be the bane of doing OA for sure. Shawnee boy, good to see you again. How are you? I'm good. Nadia, starting out, want a beginner to do wholesale. I thought OA would be. Don't do OA. Just honestly, having done what I've done, don't go and do RA and OA to start with. Hassan, how you doing? Don't go and do RA and OA. You're just going to get so many people on listings. You're going to get price tagged. If you're going to start and you want to start Amazon from nothing or little to no knowledge, go and do secondhand books. Go and do secondhand books. There's so little people doing secondhand books. You'll have barely any competition. Your margins will be really healthy. Excuse me. And you're not going to get burnt. And it's really low startup costs. No worries, Shawnee boy. Good to have you back as always. Jay, how you doing? Thomas, I think the thing with PL, there's so many different aspects to it. Because with wholesale, essentially, it's just product sourcing, supplier sourcing, and then just keep rinsing and repeating it. Whereas with PL, you've got your product sourcing, your supplier negotiation, your contract with the supplier, you've got Incoterms, you've got building your listing in terms of your written content, your images, your A plus content. You then got your advertising. So there's a multitude of other aspects to PL which a lot of people don't really take into account, and if you get them wrong, you could lose a lot of money very quickly. Yusuf, opinion on bundles, especially with what happened in the USA. Bundles are fine. Yusuf, they're basically just cracking down on bundles from a consumables perspective. So as long as you don't go and do a bundle in music or gardening or lighting, go and do bundles in there. Just don't do bundles in household cleaning or beauty or makeup or healthcare or health products. Just go and do it in a weird random category like music. There's no bundles in there, I guarantee it. I would need about 6k to start wholesale. No, you wouldn't need 6k to start wholesale. You can start wholesale with probably 500 quid, but the more you start with, the better. Ace, do you do any mentoring? Yeah, I do group mentoring, which is kicking off in March, so in about 10 days' time. There's a link in my bio if you want to sign up for that. Be first come, first served. Any questions on that, let me know. Do you sell courses? No. I'm finding it so difficult to find wholesale suppliers. Any advice? Go directly to the brand. Ask for their #1 distributors. And then, yeah, you should be golden. Callum, no, I don't often use contact forms and email and email stuff in terms of for wholesale. I'll be honest, haven't done that. Justin, what's the starting cost? If you want to start as a side hustle, say 300-400 quid if you're going to do wholesale to start with. If you want to start with secondhand books and do that as a side hustle, which I would suggest if you've got no knowledge, you could realistically start with about 100 quid. Right, let's see if we can get Instagram working. Instagram is not happening, is it? Let's try once more. Public. Go live. It says we're live on Instagram, but I don't believe it for... profile. Yeah, we're definitely not live, that's for sure. Oh well. Amazon are asking for a GFSI or HACCP for an ASIN for me to sell the food supplement. Any advice? Yeah, Jay, you're gonna have to probably get that for the brand from the brand, if I'm honest, or the distributor only. Um, Shawnee boy, thank you for the heart me, much appreciated as always. Um, yeah, go straight to the brand, Jay. Justin, at the moment, yes. At the moment, I'm only doing group mentoring for wholesale. If you want unique bundles, I do that as individual, and obviously I'll do individual consultations as well. But at the moment, from a wholesale perspective, only group mentoring. How do you get through a bad week in sales? My email sales are non-existent. How do I get through a bad week in sales? You're gonna get it. You got to take the rough with the smooth at the end of the day. Like if I look, we've had we had probably 3 weeks of bad sales in January, particularly in the US, because it took 3 weeks for some stuff to get checked in. It got delivered to the fulfillment centers, and then it just took 3 weeks to get checked in. So instead of doing sort of 3-4 grand a day, we were doing 500 to 1,000. It's just like not a lot you can do about it. You just got to move on and deal with it. Yeah, go on, Callum. Send me the message on what's the word, on DM, and I'll tell you if I've spoken with them. Oh, you are the brand, Jay. Yes, yeah. So yeah, you'll need to speak to the manufacturer. Absolutely. How do you register the barcodes while setting up your account? Well, you need a GS1 barcode directly from the GS1 website, and away you go. Uh, oh, I think I have spoken with them, Callum. Yeah, I have spoken with them, Callum. I think I did get an account with them a long, long, long time ago. Um, yeah, a long time ago. What was your question? No, honestly, I remember it took me a long time to get it. I remember that much. JS, hi mate. See with OA when they ask for an invoice to be able to sell, do they always approve if you buy? No, definitely not. What's the best place to get secondhand books? Charity shops. Tips on finding winning products, says 247. Look where others aren't. So what I mean by that is most people who are doing wholesale, for example, will look for products which are selling 1,000 times a month plus. Yeah, go and look for products which are selling 150 times a month and try and get 10 of them, because there'll be a lot less eyes on it, a lot less competition, and then in theory you should be more successful. Referred to them many times, sent an application today. Yeah, Callum, I remember the application took a long time, if from memory. Do you often reach a plateau with FBA? You can reach a plateau, but it's how you then pivot, as it would be. So I need to move that camera down a touch, just a little bit. Yeah, it's how you pivot essentially, and then figure out what you can do next. So whether it's looking at a different niche, is it switching up the type of bundles you're doing, etc., etc. Callum, if a product was doing 300 units monthly, but to get it at the price needed, you have to order 2 months worth of stock, would you order? If I could test it and the figures that you are seeing make sense, then absolutely I would. Amazon lost one of my boxes in the FC with about 5 bundles in it. How do I claim for bundles? You have to prove the amount of stock that you sent in via invoices. Commerce clips, yes. Well, I'm recording the podcast for the Raw Link Up straight after this. So 9 o'clock, I'm recording the podcast straight after this. What filters do you recommend for black box? If this is for wholesale only, absolute musts would be uh, minimum number of sellers 3, max 20, and then sizing everything except oversize. Those would be the 2 absolute musts. Then the rest would be, I just steer clear of categories such as health and personal care, beauty, grocery, pets, large appliances, and toys. And then I'd look at the other categories. Then the rest is completely up to you, to be honest. Do you offer mentorship? Yeah, I do mentoring, group mentoring, which is kicking off. So I used to do one-to-one mentoring. I now do group mentoring only because it's taking up too much of my time doing loads and loads of individual people. So I'd rather do a small quantity of people in group mentoring, because then it's less time on me, but then it's still not sort of spreading the information too thinly, and that group of people can then hopefully then grow with themselves as well, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's kicking off in March. There's a link in my bio if you want to sign up for that. It'll be first come, first serve on that. Maximum 5 people. How much money would you set aside for Amazon when starting? The more you've got, the better. I would say if you're going to do wholesale, I'd say minimum £500. Aiden, that's probably about 20% gross profit, something like that. How many different samples from different suppliers do you recommend doing? I would say at least 3. Justin, what's the hardest thing you face with FBA? FBA Ash has answered the question for you. Amazon themselves, absolutely. Yusuf, with bundles, what's the average ad spend? Probably doing about 100. Yeah, about 100 quid a day with bundles. Jay, what are your profit margins? I think I just said about 20 odd % on that, and then in the US it's about 35%. How much does it cost to join? Join what? Ever become an authorized stockist of a brand just to sell on Amazon? Yes, I have, Callum. Yeah, I had essentially it's almost like a brand exclusivity agreement to sell that brand on Amazon. What's bad about Amazon themselves? Their support is absolutely shocking. How much does it cost to join Amazon? 25 quid a month is the seller account. Ike, just getting started and everything is gated. That's fairly normal. What can be sold ungated? There's loads of products. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. There'll be loads of brands where you can sell where you don't need to get ungated. Do you spend money on advertising? Yes, I spend probably about 100 quid a day. Also, do you sell products worldwide? Yes, I do. Is that your sales? Yes, that is my UK sales year in the last 12 months. How much is mentoring? Mentoring is £1,000 one off. Let's see if we can get Instagram working. Just gonna see if I can get Instagram working. Give me 2 secs. Yeah, it's not happening. Oh, let's go copy. Nah, not happening. Twitch, how are we doing on Twitch? No. And oh. Apparently X is no longer live. No, we are live. Okay, good. Do you recommend starting with auto campaign for PPC for PR? Yeah, it's a good place to start. I've been doing Amazon for 4.5 years, but I used to manage the biggest Amazon account in Europe in my last 9-to-5 job. Sithar, yeah, that's just the UK. I said in the US as well. Aiden, yes, yeah. Mentoring absolutely includes helping people who've got no knowledge whatsoever. Do you do wholesale? Yes. How consistent are the sales with Amazon? I mean, depends what products you're selling. Um, Obviously, like you can see in the graph below, we had a really good summer product, and that obviously tailed off into winter, and then we needed to find some new products, so we found some new products to test, and then we've brought them in, and yeah, it's starting to pick up again. um, Sniper, I think I just covered that. Aiden, I think I covered that. Yusuf just become your 8,000th follower. Oh, have I hit 8,000? That'd be good. 8,001. Bosh. 2,000 to go. We're getting there. We're getting there. Thank you, Yusuf. Do you have a special package size for the items you send to wholesale? Do you have a special package size? I don't understand the question. Yeah, everything in the UK is pretty much my own brand. That's all private label. I think I've got one wholesale listing in the UK. If is us, you have two different account, or can you do it all in one? Oh no, you can do it all in one. Oh, USA, yeah, you can do it all in one. You can sell on every single Amazon account from one account. And do you need a warehouse storage for this? No, you don't. You can do it all with a prep center, or you can. I was literally doing it out of my garage to start with. Literally doing it out of my garage, and then then we got our own warehouse, and now we run our prep center from our warehouse as well, because obviously we send in several thousand units a month ourselves, so we then offer the prep services to our clients as well, because obviously it makes sense for us to offer that as well. Aiden, I do Amazon full time. It's my full time job, so I've been doing Amazon full time for about 18 months now. About 18 months. Commerce Clips, you open to any partnerships? Absolutely. Drop me a DM. Any of the socials. TikTok's probably the best one to get me on, or if you want to send me screenshots or anything like that, you can get me on the IG. I've literally only got, I think, 2 followers on Instagram, but how did you get started? My team got made redundant in just before lockdown, so about March 2020, and then I saw Jack Dams from Jack's Amazons Club talking about Amazon, and I was like, well, if he can do it, surely I can have a go. So I then started there, tried to go down the private label route, didn't have a clue what I was doing, didn't get anywhere with it. Then saw someone talking about secondhand books, so I started doing secondhand books. I did secondhand books for about 3 months, then taught myself wholesale, and then got into private label and unique bundles after that. And yeah, pretty much mostly self-taught, yeah. Yeah, oh, Callum, that's gutting, yeah. How do you progress after getting good at private label? Launch more. Launch more. So what was that person's question? Do you have special package sizes for the items you send to the warehouse? Yes. So, for example, we have a few bundles where we have had specifically made boxes for the bundles that we send in. So we were selling like a chocolate bundle, for example, and it fitted exactly. I think it was like 13 chocolate bars in. And we had it specifically made for that bundle. So yeah, we can obviously do that within the prep center as well. 247. Yeah, pretty much everything in the UK is my own brand, or our own brand, me and Ben. So yeah, most of it is our own brand. How did selling the chocolate go? Yeah, it was all right. Obviously, I don't sell it anymore because I can't justify what is going on with the bundle policy in the US. I think that'll probably come to the UK. So I was like, when I saw that, I was like, nah, let's move away from that. Then we don't have to rely on it. So just focus on bundles in the categories where we don't have to worry about it. If that makes sense. What bundle policy? So in the US, they implemented a bundle policy in about October time, where essentially what they did was they said any bundles within the consumables categories, so think grocery, think beauty, think health and personal care, etc., you can only sell bundled products together which the manufacturer makes. So the example that I use is you can't go and buy a 24 pack of Walker's crisps and break it down into a 5 pack or a 6 pack of salt and vinegar, a 6 pack of ready salted, and a 6 pack of cheese and onion. You can only sell the 24 pack and then any other variations that they sell. So they essentially brought that in October, gave us till the end of December to do it. And my take on that is they'll bring it to the UK and Europe at some point. I don't know when. I think they will. So my view was, right, I'm not going to bother doing any more bundles in those categories, because then if they do implement it, and if let's say they implement it differently to how they implement it in the US, where in the US they gave us 2.5 months, let's say they came to the UK and said, right, tomorrow, the 21st of February, you can't sell bundles, we could be stuck with a load of stock. So I was like, yeah, I'm not going to bother. Shawnee boy, thank you for the flame hearts. Is it difficult to start in bundles? It's not difficult to start, but the main problem that most people will face is building a really strong listing, if is the honest. Thanks for the advice, mate. I want to book a one-to-one call as I need to set up my Amazon account. Humza, how you doing? I wouldn't bother, honestly, I wouldn't bother booking a call with me to set up your Amazon account. It's frankly a waste of your money, because something like that is really basic, really basic. I would figure out how to set up your Amazon account yourself, and then figure out what model of Amazon you want to do, and then at some point when you need a little bit more help, then come to me, because I don't want to be charging someone for an hour's consultation to set up their Amazon account, because frankly it's just a complete waste of your money, and I'd feel like I'd be ripping you off. Big Teflon 69. How much AI do you incorporate into your listings? So I'll generally train the AI to do probably the product descriptions and certain bullet points if it's a fairly simple product, but most of it I'll write myself, because that's what I used to do as a job. Callum, I would say 7-day and 30-day run rate of sales in terms of what you want to speak to the brand about. 12-month sales, number of sellers on the listing, average price, and then I would look at that across all of the SKUs or products under that brand. So if it was, I don't know, I'll just use it as I've got it on my desk always. So if it was Stanley, for example, I'd be going to look at all of the Stanley products, for example, on Amazon, and then all those same touch points in terms of the figures. Humza, first year account student. Nice, good stuff. No worries, 247. No worries. Mohammed, pyramid scheme. Okay, all right. Any other positive comments apart from pyramid scheme? Going to release the electric car next week. Yes. Do you sell unique bundle boxes? I mean, I could get them for you, Sniper, if you want. Obviously, if you work with our prep center, absolutely we could get that for you. But if you want me to literally just sell you some unique bundle boxes, I can obviously look at that for sure. Josh, how do I start? Secondhand books. Big Teflon. So I said Q4 is always generally the best, and that's because I'm generally looking at that from a global point of view. So I sell in the US as well. So the figures you can see below are just UK sales. But in Q4 for the US, actually, let me have a look. I'll show you so you can actually see. Yes, so Q4 for the US, we did about 200 grand. There you go, look. Yeah, it's like, 200 grand in sales in the US. So um, yeah, US was definitely way better. Where are we? Where are we? CJ, for a new seller, what's a good sale in the first month? One sale. Just get your first sale in the door, honestly. Um, my first month, I think I probably did 30. I think that video I did 36 sales on books in my first month. How would you use this information to try and land the account? I've a lot to learn from your methods. So essentially, you're giving them a view of a sales channel where they don't have any information, if that makes sense, Callum. So they're not going to have the knowledge about how much actually sells on Amazon. So if you can give them a value of being able to share the information of a sales channel where they have no visibility, that's of huge value to them. So if you can then work with them to say, okay, we can work together on this. I can give you all this information on a regular basis, but I'd like to work with you to potentially get exclusivity, products from you, account, etc., etc. Fit size of package to get the most quantity of the products into the package for the FBA warehouse. Oh, yeah, those boxes. I mean, yeah, we sell a million of those. Getting the BYD seal. I know nothing about BYD, Hamza, apart from they're all electric and they're Chinese. To get to 100 quid a day, what is that, profit or sales? I mean, oh, you mean you don't sell chocolate ones anymore? Have you made a different box in another category? Yeah, I mean, we've got loads of... We sell bundles across a multitude of categories, like multitude of categories. Daily profit, how long is that going to take you? So 100 quid, 3 grand a month. So if you've got 20%, maybe 6 to 9 months, something like that. How do you select a specific product to list on Amazon? What, in terms of product sourcing? What would you say really moved the needle in terms of your success with selling on Amazon? Diversifying between a multitude of different Amazon methods. So doing unique bundles, doing private label and wholesale all into one. Callum, no worries. Callum, I am recording this, and all of these will now go onto my YouTube channel. So if anyone wants to watch these back, I'll put them on YouTube each week. How much does it take to start up? Depends which model you're doing, Josh. How much does the prep center charge? Depends specifically. Depends what you're looking for. How much do you make per day? Jake, I just pay myself 3 grand a month. Humza, we have worked in 6 months. We obviously done work. Do you think it'd be worthwhile for a freight forwarder to deliver to the FBA warehouse? Yeah, absolutely. When would you recommend FBAing versus filling your orders yourself? I'd just do FBA straight away. Like, you want to spend more time sourcing more products than packing products. What do you do with the rest of your sales? Just reinvest it, Jake. Reinvest it and buy more. Because it's all about just if you reinvest it. So let's say, Jake, and I know most of the people in here are going to talk ROI. So if you talk ROI, let's say your ROI is 50%, yeah? You just keep reinvesting everything at 50%. In 18 months, 2 years, you're going to have a massive pot of money. And that's what we're basically aiming for. Better gym. Yes, Hamza, yeah. Hope you got some big guns to flex on that as well. How does supporting others with their own journey benefit you as FBA is already saturated? So Big Teflon is definitely not saturated. There's gazillions of sellers out there and there's so many products out there. So it's not going to affect me or any other seller in this chat if I go and help 5 people a month, honestly. But in terms of how does it benefit me, it's a small amount of my time away from actually selling on Amazon, and then I can then use the money that I get from the mentoring to then reinvest back into the Amazon business so we can scale quicker. But I don't want to be, I will never become one of those people who do just mentoring all the time. I will do, at the moment, max 5 people per month in group mentoring fashion, and then that is 1 hour per week. 1 hour per week out of my entire week is negligible in the grand scheme of things, but that money I can then use to then reinvest back into the Amazon business. I hope that answers your question. 83 Josh, how much does it cost to start up Amazon FBA? Depends which model you're doing, Josh. Charlie Kerr, how do you start? I would say secondhand books. Is it better to source from Europe or China? It depends what you're sourcing. What's the best video on your channel to learn product research? Oh God, I honestly wouldn't know, Walrus. I've got like 400 videos on my channel. I couldn't tell you. Nice, Hamza. I like that. Yeah, big Teflon. I'm always going to be transparent. Like, I've got no desire or requirement or need to BS people. I'll tell you if Amazon is easy. I'll tell you which bits are hard. The hardest part of Amazon is, with the exception of seller support, is dealing with suppliers and finding suppliers. Finding products is easy. Like, genuinely, finding products is really easy, particularly when it comes to wholesale. But finding suppliers, you're going to spend infinitely longer, like infinitely longer. That's the most challenging part. Right. I don't think we're going to get Instagram working. Twitch is working. YouTube is working. And TikTok, not TikTok, X is also working, which is good. If you start all over again, what would you do to speed up your journey? So if I knew what I knew now, I would start with bundles straight away. Bundles straight away. Jake, do I make? No, I make nothing from YouTube. Absolutely nothing. I've got like how many? I've got 66 subscribers on YouTube. But Jake, I took the view that from sort of February timeframe, I'm basically going to go live. So I'm live at the moment across TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter or X. Instagram's supposed to be working, but it's not. And then hopefully I'm going to go live across LinkedIn as well. And if I go live across all of those, it will then hopefully drive more people to YouTube and eventually start making money from YouTube. But the main goal is to get people to reach out to me for brand deals or potentially mentoring or potential exclusivity or consulting or prep center, essentially. Good boy, good lad, Shawnee, good lad. Humza, is the prep center worth the effort for yourself? I mean, I put very little into the prep center. So my role in the prep center is essentially onboarding people to the prep center. But Ben essentially manages the day-to-day running of the prep center. But in terms of the income that it brings in, yes, it is. It's got its troubles, of course, like any prep center would. But yeah, it's definitely worth it. Thank you 247. I much appreciate it. Much appreciate any subs. Yeah, Callum, I have used LinkedIn to get contact info for sales reps for brands. Absolutely, I have done that. And I'm obviously I've had a career for the best part of 20 years, so I'm not saying I'm big on Instagram, but not Instagram, LinkedIn. I've had a LinkedIn for best part of 25 years, so I've got a lot of contacts on LinkedIn. How can I decide to ship stuff on my own or with shipping company? I'd probably use a shipping company rather than doing it yourself, because it will take away some of that burden from you, if that makes sense. Walrus, yeah, I use Perpetua to manage the advertising that we run. So We run advertising on our private label products, and we run advertising on our unique bundles. And Perpetua is a software platform which sits on top of the Amazon Ads Manager. Is Jungle Scout necessary? If you're doing wholesale, you need a product sourcing tool. I use Helium 10. You can use Jungle Scout as well. My view on that is, if you're ever going to do unique bundles or private label, I would suggest just start with Helium 10, because Helium 10 is the GOAT when it comes to private label and unique bundles in terms of creating listings and finding those really important keywords, whereas Jungle Scout just is nowhere near when it comes to that. And then I've actually got a link. I got a link today, so if you do want to get Helium 10, you can get it for 30% off for 12 months. There's a link in my bio for that. Just made a LinkedIn, planning on utilising it for those purposes. Yes, Callum, love it. Jungle Scout is wholesale. I mean, I tried Jungle Scout and Helium 10 when I very first started, like 4.5 years ago, and I just took the view that my goal was to always do private labels. So I was like, right, I'm going to use Helium 10, and I've used Helium 10 for wholesale since then. I never really got into it like in depth, Humza, but I just know Helium 10 is like so good. Like Cerebro is just fantastic, and then you can use, when you use Cerebro, so Cerebro is a tool within Helium 10 which you can essentially pull all the keywords from your top 10 competitors, get the top ranking keywords and phrases, then put those keywords and phrases into a list, export that list into another tool within Helium 10 called Scribbles, and then you can essentially write your whole listing, and it will tell you how many times you've used each of one of those phrases and keywords within the listing, which is just stupidly powerful. I launched a private label with an easy to rank feature and sale volume. Found a product which was 12p per click, and nice. Do you sell on any other platforms? Yeah, we've got our own website. We sell on eBay, and we also sell on TikTok Shop. But majority of the sales are on Amazon. How's TikTok Shop compared to eBay? I mean, honestly, we do like handfuls of sales on TikTok Shop and eBay, so it's negligible. What kind of bundling do you suggest doing? It's figuring out from a bundle perspective what makes sense. So the example that I always use is, because I've always got this on my desk to measure parcels, etc. So let's say you're doing a Stanley tape measure, you could do a mini spirit level, and then you could get your own walrus at war screwdriver, for example, made, or ruler or pencil or whatever, which then makes it your own bundle, and that would be an example of a bundle. Yeah, Humza, yeah, I'd agree with that. Star Connor, would you say the market's too saturated to start now? No, absolutely not. Big Teflon, how much time do you spend working during the week of the link up? I'll probably do an hour, not even an hour a day, probably half an hour a day, because most of what I do is automated, but I'll make sure during the week of the link up, everything is ordered ahead of time. So all I'm doing is dealing with anything that's in theory on fire, as it would be. So if I've got to deal with emails or problems with products, etc., just make sure it's all ticking over, but I'll still be checking it. Humza, where's the kittens? Oh, they're massive. They're massive now. I mean, I can go and find one if you want, but they're probably... let me WhatsApp the wife. Are the cats downstairs anywhere? And I'll see if I can get one in. But they're massive now, Humza. Honestly, that the biggest one is an absolute giant. Big Teflon, you deserve a week off anyway, Chris. Yeah, I don't work like your normal 9 to 5s, do I? So, because I've got 2 kids, I've got to do the school run, so I can only really work till between 9 and 3. Then I'll do ad hoc work whilst the kids are at home, slash dealing with them, and then doing their dinner and bedtime, etc. And then I might do like an hour in the evening. So it's very like all over the place. John, what are you selling? All sorts, mate. How often do you get returns? Not very often. From where do you buy items for Amazon? Brands, etc. Corey Patterson, you going to Cheltenham? Unfortunately not. I did get the option of going on the Tuesday for Champions Day. But yeah, unfortunately I can't go for personal reasons. But no, Corey, I'm massively into racing. Massively into racing. Oh, Humza, you're in luck. Humza, you still here? Depends on the quantity of the packages I send my stuff via the shipping company to FBA with. No, it's all like Amazon have guidelines on terms of size of boxes and weight of boxes, etc. All right, Humza, let me go and grab one. One of them's apparently near. Right. This is Onyx. So Onyx is, look, he's basically like a little baby, aren't you? He's 8 months old. Yeah, 8 months old. Move the sails. All right, hang on. Oh no, that's me. That one. There you go. Look, this is the small one. We can't see. Hang on. Look. There you go. No, you're biting me. You're biting me. Ow. He's black, so he's very difficult to see him. But he's very chill. He likes eating. He likes eating me. Right. Let's move the sails back. Oh no, I didn't move the sails, did I? I moved it on that one. Hang on, because you're on TikTok. Let me move it up there. Right. Then you can see. Yeah, he's very chilled. He likes nibbling fingers and my fingers and stuff. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, because I've got it on what's the word? I've got it on landscape for Twitch and YouTube, but then on Instagram and TikTok I've got it on portrait. So yeah, there you go. This is the small one. He's 7 months old. Oh, you had enough? Right, hang on, gotta let him out. Alright, there you go. Right, let me move the sails back. There we go. Right. Is there a limit on the packages you can send to the FBA warehouse? Only what's your capacity limits? Christian Mage, product research. What's the question? Can I sell to UK when living in Canada? Yes, you can, Ramo or Ramo. How long did brand registry? About 24 hours. Do you sell one product or multiple? Multiple products. Hang on, where's TikTok gone? Is TikTok still working? Because it's gone black for me. Are we still working? Bear with me, let me just make sure we are... Yes, we are still working, good. Corey, what's the nap? I mean, it's got to be the hill. Constitution Hill. Actually, no, the nap... No, the ultimate nap is GDC, Gallop and Deschamps, by a country mile. Like, yeah, I've got a lot of bets on, a lot of doubles, a lot of trebles. Guide that Sagino can't go, but yeah, it is what it is. My PL sells 50 a day on increased profit by 50p with a container, 50,000 stock. Oh, that's a big. Oh, that's a big one, Hamza. That's a big one. Is the market in the UK saturated in the US? Neither saturated, Mike. It's saturated if you don't know what you're doing. So I always say that Amazon it's saturated if you do the wrong thing, but if you do the right thing, it can be very unsaturated. What do you use to do product research? Helium 10 and Keeper. If I was to ship from Canada to the UK, does shipping cost a lot? I don't know. I've never shipped from Canada to the UK, but I would guess something in the region of maybe 25 times the price of what we ship in the UK. I'm going to guess $100 to $150 maybe US dollars in terms of for a box. I don't know, not a clue. Agree. The fact we might actually see odds against on Connie Hill, yeah, that's ridiculous. What's the most efficient way to go about it in terms of ungating? Get a invoice for 10 units. Cribillion the plate for me, 14. Cribillion the plate. I haven't heard of that. Haven't heard of that one. No, I think the treble for me originally was Sagino, Galopin des Champs, and Constitution Hill. I had actually look. I think I had the bet on it, or it might have been Brighter Days Ahead in the mares. Where is the bet? But obviously it was with Sagino, but I got it on non-runner no bet, so it should just go down to a double. Where is it? Yeah, Sagino, Brighter Days Ahead, and Constitution Hill. Yeah, I had £100 pays 370. You probably can't see that, but yeah, I had that. But unfortunately, yeah, Sagino's gone. So what happens to your warehouse if orders are fulfilled by Amazon? All the products are being sent to Amazon. We do all of our packaging for our prep center suppliers. So every business is saturated. Yes, exactly. How would you know your product can sell with zero account reviews, for example? So Stark Honor, that's a really good question. So what I would do is I'd be looking at the keeper information and look and see if there's anyone who's got, so if you've got zero reviews on your account, if there's people who are making sales or winning the buy box who have sub 100 reviews and you're going to be at the same price as them, I would suggest you're likely to be able to get some of the buy box and therefore make some sales. About which amount of profit per month you should ship stuff per shipping company. I don't care how much it costs me in shipping if it's profitable. No worries. Cheers, Callum. Connor, no worries. That's what I'm here for every Thursday. Make sure you tune in every Thursday. I'm here across. Oh, I thought we got our first time chat on Twitch, but it was a spam bot. We've got no one on YouTube, and we've got how many people we got on X? We've got 8 people on X, which isn't too bad. Favorite category at the moment? Favorite category? Probably. I mean, obviously, there's a favorite category in terms of how much money we make from it, but I'd say favorite category in terms of finding products, I would say stationery, probably, off the top of my head. How can I see who's in here? Nope. So it's many time saving for you to ship stuff with shipping company to the FBA warehouse. So if we're shipping it like UK to UK, so I'm buying it from a UK supplier and it's going to an Amazon FBA warehouse in the UK, I'm always going to use the partner carrier program with UPS because it's just disgustingly cheap. What price range would you suggest selling at for your first few products? I'll go cheap. Go cheap products. So sub £10, sub £15. Oh, Ramo. Oh, that's annoying. Jake, I've seen you sent me a voicemail, by the way, but I haven't obviously read it because you sent it whilst I was on stream, and I'm sure everyone on stream doesn't want to hear what your voicemail is to me. How are you doing, though? We've got the Raw Link Up are watching me on Twitch. Welcome. Yeah, I'm good, Jake. I am good. Enjoying well. It's challenging and enjoying doing the multi-stream across. We're on 4 platforms at the moment. Ramo, if they didn't accept the invoice, you might have to order again. But if you haven't submitted it, I'll just submit it and see if it will go through. Because the worst case scenario is they say no, and then you just do it. Then you will have to order again. Yeah, if you're doing UK to UK, absolutely UPS is the best. So you ship products directly to the FBA warehouse. Yeah, so I'll buy it. So let's say my supplier was, I don't know, John Smith Limited in Leicester. I'd order from them. They would get sent to my warehouse. But obviously, if I didn't have a warehouse, I would ship it to my home. I'd prep it, put it in a box, get UPS to come pick it up, and UPS will take it to the warehouse. Any other questions? How are we doing on Twitch? Oh, we've got one person on Twitch watching. Who's watching? The Raw Link Up. No, I need that back out. And then that. Yes, it is you. I have my stuff by my side and have to think if I ship the product single or with shipping company. I mean, if you're in the UK, just ship it as many as you can get into a box that's up to 63.5 centimeters on its longest side and 23 kilos max, and just fit as many as you can in there. From registration, how long would it take to list your first product? 10 minutes? 5 minutes, if that? If you've already got the product, then listing products, honestly, you can use the listing loader. You can do, I don't even know how many you can do at a time. Loads. Also watching on Twitter, but message don't seem to come through to you. Oh, okay. So if I click it on X. Yeah, it's not showing on X. Oh, if I click it. Oh, there we go. Right, so I can see. Okay, well, show timestamps. Yeah. Right. So I can see it on X. Can someone go and watch the stream on Twitter or X? I'm FBA_Chris there as well, and just type something to me. Archimedes on YouTube. How are you doing? In German, it's pretty similar. When do you think it's better to ship with shipping company? I mean, if you've got the products by your side, just use UPS. UPS will have a partner carrier program. UPS have a partner carrier program with Amazon. I presume it's the same in Germany, so just use the partner carrier program. Yes, Devastate. That is coming through on Twitter. It is working. Oh, unbelievable techers. What's everyone's challenges with Amazon right now, apart from what you've said? What's the biggest challenge that you've got with Amazon at the moment? Tiki-Toki Shopee, this is a different setup indeed. We are streaming across 4 platforms concurrently. So we're on TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and Twitter or X. Isn't it time saving putting all my stuff away with a shipping company? But like you can't yourself physically send stuff or take stuff to the fulfillment centers. You have to get someone to do it for you. So just send it with the partner carrier program. Sniper, what was your question? All I've got is the legal side. Rage, big fan of. Good to have you here as always. Jake, yes, that's going to be a challenge. Did you? I'm guessing your message was around the SDS, but yeah, I'll review that message. Sniper, what was your question around the legal side? Yeah, Archimedes, a long time just watching your live. Good to have you here on YouTube. First ever viewer on my YouTube on live, so much appreciated. I need to up the quality because the output is not strong enough. That's for sure. Is the legal side the most challenging part? No. Honestly, the most challenging part, Sniper, is Seller Central. What are some good grocery products? Whatever's selling well. Okay, Jake. To be fair, they accepted it before, and then a few months down the line, they have Hazmat reviewed it. Yeah, you might. That's kind of not expected, but like it's not out of the norm for that to happen, Jake. It's just then you just got to go down the route of getting them getting the SDS approved, as it would be. Archimedes, no, I do remember from mentoring indeed. Definitely planning to start a second selling handbook, starting to sell secondhand books. Absolutely, great way to start for sure. What I always recommend. Harpers, what's the deal with buying barcodes from another website for Amazon? It's confusing. So you want to go to the GS1 website. What is the GS1? It's no, actually, if I do it on a different browser, because it's going to lock me in. Set later GS1. So you want gs1uk.org. Oh, hang on. No, you don't. gs1.org is what you want. gs1.org is the website. Oh, hang on. No, hang on. That's confusing. Why have they got... Hang on. GS1. gs1uk.org. Yeah, gs1uk.org. That's where I buy mine from. Mike, you can ask anything econ related. Yeah, Jake, should be fine. I want to start with Amazon ads. What do I need to do to start? Go to Amazon Ads Manager, set up your campaign, and away you go. I own a niche Facebook page with 10k members. That's a great work. In which I sell a lot of products with no adverts. I want to scale out of the group, but I don't know my best method of doing so because it's so niche. So obviously, I don't know what the niche is, Mike. But the first port of call would be figure out if there's a market for it. Let's say on Amazon. So go and type in the main keyword or phrase for that niche and see if there's any demand for it. So see if there's similar products, or you can use something like Helium 10. You can get a free trial for Helium 10. There's a link in my bio where you could essentially see what the search volume is. So that's how many people are searching per month for that particular type of product, for example. Which Amazon ads is the best? They all serve different purposes. Do you use the Pan EU inventory stuff to get some extra sales? No, not really, Jake. It's more hassle than it's worth for what I'm doing at the moment. I don't use SAS at all, Sniper. I use Keeper. Are you doing LTL less than truckload? Yes, I am, Tom. So how many barcodes are needed if you have only one product type with 100 quantity? One barcode, print it 100 times. Do you sponsor display? Yeah, when it's to do certain things. What would Keeper be used for with unique bundles? Essentially qualifying the main hero product. So if the main hero product is your Stanley tape measure, you're going to be using the Keeper data to make sure that it ticks all the right boxes from a wholesale point of view to then decide if it's worth pursuing, which you can then add a bundled product to it. Which ad to use if I want to boost one single product? The only thing is most of the products are general products which I twist to suit my niche audience. Well, you could do that, Mike. I mean, you could also check on Etsy as well. So you could use a bit of software called Etsy Check. I think you can get a free trial of that to then similarly do the keyword volume on Etsy as well. AK, how we doing? I make 600k from my bundle and spent 252 quid ads. Is that good? 600 quid is after ads paid. It depends what your margin is, AK. Oh, Holly and or Louis is here now. Everyone, you can calm down. It's 8:43. They've arrived in the house. Yeah, AK, it just depends what your margin is. Owarpez, depends what model of Amazon you're doing. Archimedes, okay, you see me in good quality. Okay, it doesn't look good quality. I'm on YouTube, and it really the quality looks absolutely shocking. But if you're telling me that it's coming out as 1080p, that's wonderful. That is all good then. We've got 15 minutes left, and I've got to jump off because I've got to record the podcast for the link up, where we're going to talk all things Civilization 7. Yeah, it's a little on the low side. I still think it's pretty good, AK. Yeah, I mean, AK, 18% margin after on your bundle is still, that's decent. You're going to take that all day long. But from a bundle perspective, I'm generally looking at high 20s and above for bundles, because you're generally, as a rule of thumb, giving the customer more value for money, so therefore you can charge more for it, and therefore your margin is way better than it would be for wholesale, because 18% is generally, it's about in the ballpark range from a wholesale point of view, what I would generally aim for. But most of my bundles are 35% and above. Yeah, and that's the thing, AK. If you can make 500 quid from a bundle, I mean, it works all day long. Because now what you can do, AK, is you can go, right, how can I make that price, how can I make that price bigger? Or how can I get 10 more of those, so I'm doing £5 a month. Test it, AK. Just test it. Like, test it at $11.99 for a week and see what the sales do. Literally, that's what I do. Like, worst case scenario, you take a dip in sales. Okay, drop it back down to $9.99. Run a few ads to get it back to where it was, and away you go. Yeah, okay, like you're going to get BSR drops. You're going to get BSR drops from, particularly when you're testing stuff, whether that be pricing, testing, titles, or testing hero images. You're going to get BSR drops, and like Holly and or Louis, whichever one is there, has made a very good point. Obviously, from a pricing standpoint, if you're under obviously £10, you get better or better fees, should we say? So there's no point in going $10.99. Go $11.99. Arpez, it depends what model of Amazon you're doing. If you're doing wholesale, you don't need any advertising really. If you're doing bundles, £10 a day. If you're doing private label, a bit more. Oh, okay, lovely. 0% VAT, even better. Yeah, Holly and or Louis make a very good point. I'm guessing it's Louis. I'm just taking a wild guess there because Louis's been doing most of the what's the word, TikTok lives, etc. Right, we've got about 10 minutes, 5-10 minutes more, and then I'm going to jump off because I've got to do a podcast for about an hour. But we've had some positive stuff. We've got people on all platforms except Instagram, because we're not live on Instagram. I'm more knowledgeable. We'll keep that between me and you, Louis. We'll keep that between me and you. Best type of ads in particular for Amazon in general? Probably just your bog standard product advertising. Noah and Hood for starting a Amazon UK or USA market. What's the question? She sat next to me. Well, obviously you got your ears in, Louis. You got your earpods in, or AirPods even. So obviously she can't hear. How do you spend your time the most effectively when you're full time? For me at the moment, AK, it's just like what I essentially put together a to-do list at the start of each day and go, right, what's time urgent, money urgent, etc., etc. So like stuff like, I don't know, seller support tickets. If it's just to fix something that's broken, it's going to be somewhere near the bottom. If it's something to do with, I don't know, my accountant, that's going to be somewhere near the top. Like sometimes I can't be asked to work, but some days I'm working like a robot. Yeah, and you'll get days like that, AK. You'll get days like that. Like the other day, my youngest woke me up at 5:45, and I didn't go to bed particularly early, so I was absolutely knackered. I was literally just sitting. I was just like really tired. Just can't be bothered to do anything. And I had like you have bits like here and there where you don't really do a lot, but you just have to focus and realize, right, the more you put into it, the more you're going to get out. I'm mid-frolicking now. Which countries tend to be the highest volume buyers? Well, I mean, the biggest market is Amazon US. Yeah, okay, and like that's the thing. Like, obviously, I don't pack any stock anymore. I do a bit. I've got 3 boxes of stuff in my office here, which will go off to Amazon when I'm out of stock on that product. But the rest of it, the warehouse do. I don't mind packing. I quite happily go down to the warehouse and pack for a whole day. I quite enjoy it, but it's because I don't do it and don't do it that much anymore. But I completely get you on that. Tom Berry, how did you start getting into this? Do secondhand books. Would be the first port of call, Tom. That was what I would recommend. Yeah, okay, you'll get there. Just keep going, keep going. You will get there. What listing? Tom Price. I think you've asked me two very. What was your other question? I swear. Yeah, so Tom, you've asked me LTO, and you've asked me around listing software. So you know what you're talking about clearly. Tom, I don't use any listing software. I do it all. I list it all myself. Tom Berry, do you have any videos on how to start? There's loads of videos on my TikTok page. Tom Berry, loads of videos. Yeah, okay. It's more like I mentioned the music category because there's probably isn't any bundles in the music category, but it's just a case of figuring out what category there aren't really that many bundles in, and can you make bundles out of them? And a lot of it will be down to what suppliers you've got, because if you're going into a category, let's say gardening, and you've got no gardening suppliers, building a bundle is going to be infinitely more challenging because you're not going to know what price point to be messaging them at, if that makes sense. Right, I think we'll do maybe a few more questions, and then I'm going to call that because I've got to go and do a podcast for an hour straight after this. Did I miss a comment? 12 music bundles launching this week. Love it, Louis. Love it. Oh, TikTok, go live now. Your videos are trending. Are they actually trending? That's the question. Berry is my surname. Oh, Arpez, go and check out some software called Scout IQ, and that will tell you if your secondhand books. It will enable you to scan them, and it will tell you if obviously you need to figure out how the software works, but it will tell you if they're worth selling. How many videos? How many videos? How many views has my video got? I've only got 600 views on my video. It's not like it's gone mental. Right, we'll go one more question. Oh, after Anthony. Chris, can I use ClearPay to purchase products? What on earth is ClearPay? I've never heard of it. Is that like Klarna? Buy now, pay later? Don't see why not. Yeah, I mean, I posted it live, Louis, but then I had to go and sort the kids' dinner, so I haven't really done a lot on it. But I don't think there's been many comments. Oh, there's been 4 comments on it. Oh yeah, I commented on the one comment. Oh, Arpez, no worries, no worries. Anthony, would I have to get clarification first from Amazon? No. Like, Anthony, it depends what you're buying would be the first port of call. Like, are you buying for OA, or I'm guessing OA if you're using ClearPay? So I'd be checking to make sure you can sell that product first before going to buy it. That would be the first port of call. Right, we'll do one more question, and then I'm going to shoot. Like you're buying from a brand or distributor usually backs. Louis, I can't tell you the last time I paid backs on anything, if I'm honest. I beg all my suppliers to use Amex. So, Louis, one thing I'm doing at the moment is I'll say to all my suppliers, if they don't accept credit cards, I'll be like, okay, will you accept Amex if I pay the fee that you will be charged by Amex for my order? And I'm yet to find anyone who says no to that, because then it just keeps the what's the word, Amex points creeping up. Right, I think we'll call it there. There seems to be no more questions. Thank you all for joining. Shawnee boy, good to have you back. and everyone else who's asked lots of good questions this evening. I'll be back next Thursday. Will I be back next Thursday? Yeah, I'll be back next Thursday across hopefully 6 platforms, including LinkedIn as well. Fingers crossed. Yeah, no worries, Louis. No worries. Cheers, Big Teflon. Thank you all for joining. Have a good rest of your week. Have some good sales. And I will see you next week. Cheers, guys. Bye-bye.